I am now streaming to you. Make sure everything is running on the Twitter end. Or on the YouTube end. Excuse me. But that includes posting the link on Twitter.
SpongeBob's looking rather floppy today.
Are you ready, kids? Set,
No.
go.
No, I'm not ready.
You've just met the Sponginator. Fresh like a spring breeze.
So is the SpongeBob a reference that I don't get?
No. I mean, it's a reference to the Terminator, but it's not in, like, an episode or nothing.
I feel like a new sponge. Fresh like a spring breeze.
You know, I've heard nothing about the new SpongeBob game, which is kind of confusing.
Fresh like a spring breeze. Tartar sauce. The horror.
Oh, hey, that's a new guy there. Shit, fuck, god damn it. Oh, I was at the bottom level, too.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Shit.
I feel like a new sponge.
Kill him.
I have to get back to this game at some point.
Fresh like a spring breeze. Somehow I don't think he needs a hand. I feel like a new sponge.
I just got fucking nuked.
Yeah.
Hold on, is there another guy up here? Ah, shit.
Fresh like a spring breeze.
Oh god, it's fucking Michael.
Oh, Michael's here.
Yeah.
Well, stream ruined. Sorry, everyone.
Hey guys! Go ahead, Joe.
I've got 24 Princess Joe Mellow Match stream. Let's begin. Go ahead, Joe's dead.
Not in my heart.
Presents.
What?
There was a button I didn't press, like at the very bottom. Should I go back and press it? I kind of don't want to
I
do
don't-
this whole fucking level over.
I don't know. I feel like if I can talk about the episode that this is for, I feel like this is one of those episodes where I'm going to say something that somebody doesn't agree with, and there will be
Like a
comments.
new sponge.
What episode is this from?
SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. It's not even out yet. We haven't even worked on it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
Chris,
episode
yeah,
of the show that this level is based on.
No, Chris is talking about her show.
I feel like I'm not I've said this multiple times. I feel like I'm not equipped for Battle for Bikini Bottom. As much as I'd love to do a crossover with Matt, this is the one where I thought it would be perfect to do it.
I feel like a new sponge.
I have plans for Matt as well for another crossover, but like, you know, that one might come out actually sooner, in all honesty. If Matt's down to do that one for a minute, because I might put SpongeBob on the back burner for a second.
Yo, Chris,
What?
if I wanted to, I could click out timeout Matt Presents, and it would completely ruin the stream. We wouldn't be in it anymore.
I mean, we wouldn't be in it.
I know. Matt would just be on his own.
It shines. I feel like a new sponge. Somehow I don't.
Sorry for like
hand.
not working on SpongeBob anytime soon, dude.
That's fine. I'll probably.
I'm still gonna do it soon. It's just there's what I want to do more,
998, 999.
and I know that I don't know if you want to. You don't even have to play the game. I don't need you to for it.
What are we doing?
I was gonna do.
Road, Jack.
We're still gonna do SpongeBob if that's cool. I just wanted to force you into another episode. I wanted to do Duke Nukem, and
Right.
you've always kind of been the choice, but you know, you don't have to do that one. You don't even have to play it. I just kind of want you on board for it.
Sure.
Okay, I think that one's gonna probably be worked on a little sooner than SpongeBob, and it's not that there's an issue with SpongeBob, it's just, you know, I still have to beat Battle for Bikini Bottom, and it's taking longer than I thought it would, so, you know.
Somebody called me Nikado Avocado today.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I did set him up for it by the angle and the red shirt.
Still fuck that guy.
That person gets a pass because of how good the setup was, but anyone else, any other wise guys?
Yo, Michael, has anyone ever told you you look like Nikocado Avocado?
You cut out. I mean, not on your stream, of course, but I didn't hear what you said.
That's fine.
You'll have to die in curiosity now.
I feel like I know what he said.
I think the game has glitched out because I've defeated the King Jellyfish, but there's
Did you kill the
no.
jellyfish?
Yeah, I defeated King Jellyfish, and there's no. I still haven't collected the spatula.
Oh, go to Squidward.
Squidward.
Yeah, I think Squidward gives it to you. Oh no, you gotta be in the jellyfish fields for him to. You gotta go to the beginning of the level. I mean, the game probably might have glitched out too. That's a heavy possibility.
Squidward like, no, don't get hit by a bus.
Friend Squidward.
Okay. Now I don't know why they set you up to the top of the jellyfish thing for that.
Huh.
Squidward looks like he got hit by a bus.
What are you waiting for, boy? Go get that.
But yeah, I'll
king
message you soon. Duke
I
Nukem will
did
probably
get
come
the
out
King
before SpongeBob.
Jellyfish.
Chris,
What?
what is your favorite video game series? Zelda?
That, I don't have a favorite.
Chris, what's your favorite video game?
I'm gonna give you the first one that comes to mind, and that's Chrono Trigger.
So, that's
My favorite series is Sonic by a default, but if Elder Scrolls had more games, it might be Elder Scrolls.
I feel like the problem is I like so many series for completely different reasons. I guess I could generically say Zelda, but what the fuck just happened?
I jumped out of bounds. No, let me get on the cart.
The problem with series is that, like, I have too many that I enjoy, so I can't, like, give you, like, a definitive answer.
Matt's favorite is Jimmy Neutron, right?
Yeah, the video game series, Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah.
Video.
Video games that later got adapted into a movie and then a very popular TV show.
It shines.
What is your favorite game series, Matt? Or favorite game?
My favorite game is Mappy.
Goo Lagoon. A sun-drenched
It looked like they were using the PlayStation 2
Yeah, for a
graphics there
second.
for a second.
Oh, look up Mappy. I may have seen you play this. Is this really your favorite game?
I
Yeah.
love opening presents.
Neat. Is this something that you play on, like... I feel like
I-
Discord says that you're playing this game sometimes.
No, it's not one I've, like, done on stream. It's not one I even, like, have on Steam to play on my computer. It was an old arcade game.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Neat. I never played Mappy before. I recognize the mouse. I do recognize him.
I'm also sorry I can't give you a definitive answer.
It's hard to say your favorite game. I'm saying Oblivion, but I like.
I don't know
Yeah,
what my
take that with a grain
favorite
of salt.
series... I don't know what my favorite series would be.
I really like. Mario gets a little repetitive, but at the end of the day, I'd say it's probably one of the best franchises
do I
in
look
existence,
burned?
just because there's so
Well, you
much
do look a little
variety that comes from it. I say it's repetitive, but it's also one of the most diverse. You know, it's like kind of weirdly, it does repeat the same mechanics a lot, but it also does innovate a lot. And then if you look at the party and sport games and go-kart games, Smash Bros. Probably doesn't exist without Mario, so there's just so much, like, so much that the series has
but I
offered.
can't swim.
I think the thing is that with Mario, when I hear people say that it's repetitive, I see you and I feel it. But I also kind of am like, if you're talking about, like,
Well,
the 2D games, I feel like there's a point where I just kind of go blind death on it.
I think the issue with, like, calling, like, repetitive, I agree with, but saying that, like, that means it shouldn't exist, I don't necessarily agree with, because one, each of the games does do enough new stuff, I'd say, to justify themselves. And I would also say, like, if that's what you want, that's what you want. I understand getting tired of it is my thing, because I kind of got tired of 2D Mario after a while. Although Wonder is kind of piquing my interest again, because I love the art style, and I love some of the new
Guys,
more
we're just
playable
gonna
characters.
fucking
Clever.
jump on this fat dude's stomach to get over to
Yeah,
the
go
island.
for it.
Yeah.
I feel like the thing that's weird about it is, like I said, one of my videos that is coming out soon is me playing all of the new Mario games, right? And I will agree that those are repetitive, but my biggest problem with them is that when so many people say, oh, Mario's repetitive, I'm like, what are you talking about? Because, like, if you're talking about new, you're 100% right. There's no arguing that new is repetitive as shit, because it is. But also, like, the point I also bring up is that I'm also saying this coming from a person that played the games back to fucking back. So, like, whatever
Right.
negative I have is coming from me playing them back to back, which is not what you're supposed to do. I mean, yes, Nintendo overly released them, and there's no arguing that. But when people go, "Oh, I don't like 2D Mario," I'm like, "What have you really like?" When it comes to 2D Mario, where are we standing? Because like each game has like huge distinct differences between them to a point of where it's like you're just kind of looking at it and going, "It's 2D. That's the thing," you know. So
Yeah.
I
think
feel like
it's like
with 2D Mario 2, it's like, okay, well, if you like enjoy the gameplay, then here's just like more levels in that style.
Yeah, and they throw new mechanics. Like as repetitive as the new Super Mario Brothers games could be, each of them throws in a new power up. Each of them.
I feel like that's the problem, is that New Super Mario is the standard of what they shouldn't do. Because, like, for instance, Mario 1 and 2 are vastly different. Like, and if somebody can argue, oh, well, Chris, the lost levels are, you know, repetitive. No, that wasn't what we got. We got the game in America, which is the one where you throw vegetables, nothing like Mario 1. Mario 3 introduced what we know as Mario today, which is the more power-ups, you know, an open map that allows you to do more things.
Yeah.
Mario World has Yoshi, which if you ignore that mechanic, you're just straight up blatantly ignoring the fact that there's also now ghost houses and many other stuff. Like, yes, it's 2D Mario, but it's improving upon the 2D Mario, like, stylings, and it's kind of ignoring the fact that they've done it, alongside with the games like Mario Land being weird as fuck, and that's the greatest thing about them. If I cannot recommend the Mario Land games for the the Game Boy enough, which is, they're weird as fuck. They are weird games, and I think that that's what makes them appreciated, is that they are not the traditional I mean, yes, they're the idea of, you know, Mario platforms, blah, 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 but the thing is that the aesthetic and also just the gameplay is vastly different. And all the mechanics that bring in, you can't just say, oh, well, Mario World is Mario 3. That's just you ignoring everything that comes from it. It's like saying that Sonic 3 is just Mario 2. It's not. Or Mario 2 is Sonic 2 is just Sonic CD. It's not. It's like my argument with Arlo, him being like, oh, Pokemon's the same. And I'm like, no, each game has very big differences, and balancing issues come and go and change. It's like, I see, yes, from an outsider, yes, it looks very similar, but all you have to do is play the games and you'll realize, no, they're not the same. Hell, that's like me saying, like, the 3D Simpsons game is like hit and run just because, you know, they're 3D.
Yeah, I never grabbed too strong of an opinion towards Pokemon, but I always like waited enough in between releases to where each game was pretty new to me.
I feel like the thing is, Pokemon also back in the day, had a good release window. The problem with Pokemon now is that, like, they don't put effort into it, and that's the issue.
Oh no, the children's balloons have been opened.
Like, they try to give, like, every other year release.
You can save the children by bubble bashing.
And if I'm coming off harsh about Mario, I'm not trying to, it's just, I feel like...
Hey, I just children.
Yeah. It's like it's kind of like the Sonic is bad debate of where it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, Sonic had an argumentatively bad stint of games, but like, I can feel like
this, bruh? You think you can just walk around like that? Fuck you.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck.
That's Mario.
But I feel like that's just... But I feel like that's just my take on it, and I'm sorry if it comes off as harsh. It's just there's a point of where, like, you hear something enough and you're like, really though? Because, like, that was my issue back in the day when people complained about, like, Sonic had, like, a bad stint of games, where I feel like you can at least kind of argue it, because he has had an arguably bad run, you know? But, like, I feel like it's not as dramatic as everyone says it is. Especially if you look back at it.
Well, I think, like, I think with a lot of Sonic games, too, it's not even necessarily the game is bad. I think a lot of them, it's just, like, parts of the game are a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah, and I think that's fine sometimes. But, like, I think it's kind of like... The thing with the Mario... What?
I was just saying, like, I defend games like Heroes, because Heroes, I think, has some really fun parts. But same thing with, like, when it comes to the games that I like, I play them and I'm like, I don't really like anything about this. It really is stuff like Shadow, you know?
Yeah.
And Shadow even has stuff I like. It just doesn't have stuff that I like for the right reasons.
Yeah, I think the thing about like Sonic is like the Mario thing of being repetitive is like the same thing of when people are like, "Oh my God, Sonic Unleashed is bad because of Werehog," and it's like, no, it's not. Or like one of the dumbest takes I've ever. What the fuck?
I'm just dying.
Sorry. SpongeBob died in an interesting way. But
The one
like with hearing the Mario's like repetitive in the 2D aspect kind of comes off as one of my friends said the dumbest shit, and he's like, "Oh well, Sonic Unleashed is just Sonic Adventure 3, right?" And it's like, no, it's absolutely fucking not. But I mean,
yeah, I mean, if anything,
if you
that
don't
comparison goes
touch the
to
game, if you don't touch the game, then yeah, of course you can see that. But it's, you know,
if any game is going to be compared to Sonic Adventure 3, it'd be 06 too.
yeah.
And even then, I wouldn't agree with that, but it's definitely, it's got 3 different story modes where you see the story from different perspectives, and the only reason I wouldn't really say it's a follow-up to Adventure is because it kind of feels like it's doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
Where Adventure, it actually, because it would be a step down from Adventure too, because it has less playable characters.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that...
Well, that's not true, but it has less playable characters with their own levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other characters are
like,
technically playable, but it's
I feel
not
like
very...
the problem. I feel like the problem is though that Silver is also playable in Sonic and Shadow's playthrough. So like, some of the characters are kind of like they cross over.
Yeah, which I don't like. They did that.
No. But yeah, and like I said, I'm sorry that I'm coming off so strong with it. It's just, it's a thing that I'm like just sick of hearing, and it's not even like you're in the wrong because you have your opinion, and to a degree you're right because New Super Mario, no matter what, is fucking repetitive, and I'm sorry, it is. But it's just when it comes to the 2D Mario games, I don't feel like people have realistically played enough for them to be like it's repetitive. Because like when I say, "Oh, have you played Land?" people go, "Oh, well, no," you know. Or I'm like, "Oh, well, have you beaten Mario World?" And then they go, "Oh, well, no." It's like just try them before, and you know, and if you still think they're repetitive, that's fine. I just feel like I'd rather. I wish more people played the other games in the 2D series.
Over here?
Is there? Yes.
People do just kind of say baseless shit sometimes, though. Like one that became a hot take on Twitter, and to be fair, I'm not gonna mention this guy's username or anything because it's like I think people were like way too obnoxious towards this guy over a simple opinion. I think his opinion is stupid. I disagree with his opinion, but he got like, you know, he got fucking massive backlash from the community, and that's why I hate. That's what me and you had to talk about communities last night. That's my issue.
Yeah.
Certain communities in quotation marks, because again, I know that they're not all like that, but it's like someone who made the claim like a month or two ago that like classic Sonic is being oversaturated because of Superstars, and then people just like sat down for a second. It's like, okay, I get what you're saying. They're putting classic in a lot more stuff now, but really think about what you're saying. Since 1993, I guess maybe past that because the Game Gear stuff, but in terms of mainline series, since 1993, there's been one classic 2D Sonic game that wasn't a re-release.
Yeah.
And even that reused levels. Like, you cannot say that Superstars existence is them oversaturated. Modern is still used significantly more.
Yeah,
and he's also used in all the movies, all the TV shows. Like classic does not get used for anything outside of cameo appearances in Mania. Superstars is their attempt to keep the classic side of it alive still, which I appreciate. That shouldn't be seen as a bad thing. That's them giving options, you know?
It's them giving options, but it's them giving options in a way that just kind of is necessary because they've understood that they cannot bridge the gap.
Right.
If you know what I mean. Because like Sonic Advanced is a perfect example of them going like, hey, we're gonna try to bridge it, but it just never
Time for a
worked.
little sleepy sneak.
Not that the games were bad, it's just, you know.
And even then, they're kind of trying to do that a little bit in the modern titles. Because modern Sonic does have 2D sections still.
Yeah.
So it's not entirely dead. Even though I would definitely say the gameplay is a little different, but there's similarities for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reason why I say that it's dead, the bridging the gap is dead, is because Sonic 4 killed it.
But it's just like, I think it's a bad take, but I also think it's like, cut the guy some slack. You know, after one or two people, after you read like 50 tweets about the guy, you don't also have to go and make a tweet about the guy.
I mean, to be fair here, I also see where they're coming from, because, like, in reality, this is one of those where it's like, look at where he's coming from, and you could see it feels like it's being, like, we have a lot of classic Sonic.
Right, and
I'm
also
not saying that they're right, I'm just saying that I could see where they're coming from.
I disagree with them, but also it's more helpful. I think it's more useful for everyone if you try to understand where someone's coming from rather than attack them, because all attacking them does is makes people afraid to speak their mind on things. Like, you don't want to become a community where people are afraid to. You don't want to become again, using the word community here in quotation marks. You don't want to become a community where people have to step around eggshells fucking constantly.
Yeah, no.
Because that just makes people afraid of you. They don't want to be part of it, because it's like, if I ever disagree with these people, I'm gonna become a fucking trend, and I'm gonna be trending on Twitter. I don't want that.
Yeah.
So I definitely don't respect the way people respond to the guy. I do disagree with him, but yeah, I think it's nice to try to understand, like, express your disagreement, but like try to understand where they're coming from.
I'm Patrick.
I feel like if I can give a interesting hot take, I feel like Sega, if there's a rumor that Sega's making another Jet Set Radio. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, it feels like their developers went off to make another game, so now it'd be kind of like, do they have the right people on board?
Yeah, and the thing is, I looked it up, and I'm like, they didn't give an answer if they have a Team Lizard, whatever, on it, and I'm biased as shit. I absolutely love Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, and that might be the biggest reason why I'm kind of like about it. But like, I feel like the thing is that it's like, you guys had all this time to make a new one, and then when they finally successfully release it, you guys are like, yeah, let's make a new fucking, you know, it's. I feel like it's too late. I feel like they should have let it go, and I feel like that's Sega's biggest issue, is that they refuse to like acknowledge any of their stuff that isn't Sonic.
I did hear something about Sonic recently that I thought, like, I may have even said this in a prior stream or something. And I don't know if it's true or not, but it's an interesting thought. Where with a lot of Sonic stuff, they kind of put new people on the games to prove themselves, and if they do prove themselves, they immediately remove them from Sonic, because their mindset of Sonic is just like, oh, people are gonna buy it regardless. It's Sonic, so we can like, okay, you proved yourself, alright, you can move on to this other Sega product. And now we're gonna put something else on Sonic.
Yeah, you did good. Now go to Sonic in the Olympic Games.
But I forgot, I'd have to send you my source on that, because I don't know how trustworthy of a source it is. And it wasn't like something that... It was kind of like a word of mouth thing, you know? It wasn't necessarily something that was definitely true, but it's something that, like, I could see it. I feel like that's kind of, like, people... I feel like that's kind of what happens with, like, The Simpsons, almost, where a lot of writers start on The Simpsons because it's a popular show that's going to do well no matter what, because it's been horrible for over 20 years, and it still does really well. So they'll bring people onto The Simpsons, and if they prove themselves that they're like easy to work with and they get their work done, okay, go now. You get to do F is for family. You know.
Yeah. I think
Now you
that
get
just
to do
happens in the
something that's
industry
more
in
personal.
general.
Yeah, and I think that's even like in a sense, because I think it's the same thing with SpongeBob lately. From what I've heard about, I watched Alice Mark's video on it, and it seems like it's like a good opportunity for storyboard artists and animators to be able to fully express themselves. And even though I don't care for modern episodes of the show, I would say that that is a useful thing with
Okay,
modern
so,
Simpsons and SpongeBob. Like I could see the benefit of keeping them around for that.
so I'm doing a video about not about Charles Martinet, but I feel like I have a kind of a thank you video to Charles as a Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that? Is that me overstepping my boundary?
I think we can talk about
how
that.
I feel about this.
I guess it's Matt's call.
I don't care. You can talk about Charles Martinet.
Okay, I feel like the thing that's funny about this is that one of the and I'm more or less I'm going to talk about this from the Mario movie aspect. The more I think about it, the more I feel like Nintendo was kind of a dick to not just let him be Mario. If you know what I mean.
I think that the only thing that could have, like, redeemed that, in my eyes, I've heard this, like, people say this before, and I completely agree with it. I think that I like the Mario movie a lot. I think something that could have made it better, and maybe you'll disagree with me on this,
I probably will.
is if the father got kidnapped and Mario and Luigi were together most of the movie. And then that way the father gets to play a bigger role. Charles Martinet gets more lines, and Luigi is not like cut from most of the movie. At the same time, I do like Mario and Peach spending as much time together as they do. And I feel like if you have Luigi in there, you can't do that. So it's
Yeah.
like I see the benefits of putting Luigi to the side. At the same time, it's a Mario Brothers movie. I don't know. Luigi could have been in more of it.
I feel like I agree with you.
Maybe if they had more Luigi, another option would be more Luigi and Bowser scenes.
Yeah. My biggest thing is the reason why I'm fine with Luigi not being in it is because they established very quickly that Mario and Luigi, like, this is also me just assuming that they're planning a fucking sequel. If they are, that we definitely could get more of that, but I feel like one of the hardest sells, like, let's be honest here, one of the hardest sells is trying to get Peach in general to kind of be in the movie and not have people roll their eyes hard. You know, so with Luigi's existence, it kind of, you know, under had Peach or whatever.
Yeah,
I think my biggest...
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. My biggest problem with the movie is the fact that Charles didn't voice Mario, and at first I used to listen to people and them being like, oh, well, Mario's voice is whatever. No, fuck that. Charles Martinet is a voice actor. Like, and he's not just a voice actor of Mario. He is a voice actor. He has a lot of stuff that he's done. He's done movies, done shows, and he was in I know it's not a big one, but he was in a Dragon Ball Z movie as a villain before the Mario movie came out.
Right.
That should be enough to say that, yeah, he can possibly do it. I know why they chose Chris Pratt.
It doesn't help. Well, I was gonna say it doesn't help that they picked Chris Pratt in the argument of like trying to find the right voice for him, because it's just like Chris Pratt is. People are making posts saying like, "Oh, it's time to apologize to Chris Pratt," and it's like, not really.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that
Chris Pratt did a serviceable job. He wasn't as bad as people thought he was going to be, because the movie trailer decided to use Mushroom Kingdom, here we come. That's like the worst take he recorded for the whole movie, and it's not even in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's also like, did he do a good job in the movie? I wouldn't say so. I'd say I'd say passable. But it's also like, it's fucking Mario. You might want a little better than passable, maybe.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's just the adoration that, like, Charles has for Nintendo, and even the fact that he's still respecting Nintendo today, which is probably more of an actor thing, more than
He probably needs to, yeah. Unfortunately.
I don't know if he needs to.
He's doing something for them. He's like their Mario ambassador, and I don't know what that means.
He doesn't even know what that means. Like,
I got an idea of what it means, and here's what I interpret that as. He is going to conventions, and he is promoting the Mario games, and he's engaging with fans, something that he could have done regardless, but he's doing it with Nintendo saying, oh yeah, we're involved.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I think it's very minimalistic. I think it's basically just so...
I mean,
I think it's Nintendo's way of saying, like, hey, we're gonna throw you a bone, throw us a bone, and make it so the fans don't fucking get angry at us.
Yeah. I feel like if it was a bigger role, then he would have been... Because here's the thing, is that he would have been able to say something about it, but he has multiple times at conventions said, hey, I don't know what it is yet, so we'll figure it out together.
But, you know, I think Charles Martinet is great for any convention. I think that I think he brings a lot of people happiness, and I think he should keep doing it. And I'm not really convinced that the relationship with Nintendo is great based on other things I've seen, but it's also just like, I think it makes sense to try to keep the peace.
It does, but I think the biggest thing that my issue with it is it's not like I'm like super mad or anything. It's just I feel like it was a bad decision to not just let him be Mario. You know,
I mean,
and it
I
feels
agree.
like it feels like he's not happy about it either, and he's not ever gonna talk about it either. But you know,
what I was gonna say is like the thing you're describing with him just like going to conventions. That's exactly what I don't want being a Mario ambassador to be. I want him to have like some specific mission from Nintendo. But it really does just sound like they're like, nah, go out there and tell the people that you still like Mario and that you're still cool with us.
you know what the weirdest one is, right? Is that
I could see benefit in him too if it means that Nintendo still acknowledges he exists. But
here's the problem with this, right? We actually seen this happen before with Turtles, right? And it's funny because Rob Paulson recently became one of the people that is a voice coach and he also helps direct the voice acting for Turtles now. That's what he does. And I thought that that's what a Mario ambassador was, right? Like, I thought it was him helping out with, you know...
Yeah, like how to be Mario, teaching these people to do the Mario stuff. Do the Mario.
Yeah.
Do the Mario. You have to do all of the steps to the Mario.
It's not that
if
hard.
you want to voice Mario.
But, like,
if you
like I
mess
said,
up
I'm not...
one step.
And unfortunately, I hate to say this, I feel like we've all kind of... I don't know if we've all come to terms with it, but I think it's weird because as a person that is obsessed as I am about video games, Charles Martinet multiple times said that he would want to do Mario until he's dead. And
Right.
he's not. So it's just odd that all of a sudden he's not Mario. And I think that it's definitely... I don't know what the reason is, and we'll probably never know. But I just feel like it's kind of shitty. That's all I gotta say. You know, like...
I agree with you. I think that it's like... I respect Charles Martinet, and I feel bad saying this because I don't want to, like... Not that he's ever going to hear what I say and that it's going to bother him, but I almost feel bad saying this as if I'm being mean to Charles by saying this. It really does feel like Nintendo giving him, like, a participation trophy or something. Like, it's just like...
biggest...
You're still important. Like, I don't know, it feels like... It
feels like
very
they're
insincere.
Yeah, it feels like they're saying like, oh no, but we're still cool, right, Charles? Right, Charles, tell them we're cool.
Yeah. And I think what the fuck just happened?
I died and the camera sort of went in a weird place.
You know what it feels like? Oh, I think it's really funny that the word... Oh my god, actually, this is really funny now because they use the word ambassador. I'm watching Disenchantment, and there's an episode where Bean, in the first season, is complaining that she's the princess in the show. And she's complaining that she feels useless, so the father, like, the king, is, like, talking with the queen, like... Oh, hold on one second, I'm gonna sneeze. The king is talking to, the queen, like, his queen, like, oh, how can we make her feel... more useful, blah blah blah, and they said just give her like a bullshit title, and that makes her feel important. And then the next scene is her on a boat with a thing around her that says ambassador. It's so funny because it's the same fucking word Nintendo is using for Charles Martinet.
And I'm only saying this like not that look, I've come to terms that Nintendo does shitty things, but I just feel like you guys could have done better. He's been voicing Mario for almost like 2-3 generations, so it's weird that you guys are like, no, let's go with somebody new. And I don't know.
The voice that Charles Martinet did for the father, you know, it wasn't even that bad of an approach to take. He at least sounded Italian. Like, I mean, that would have probably been better than what Chris Pratt gave. And I'm not saying that for sure because you only hear 1 or 2 lines with the dad, but...
I definitely feel like Chris Pratt was the wrong choice. It's a choice made because Chris Pratt is a popular actor, and not because he was actually suited for the role.
And
not
the reason
that he does a bad job, he does a fine job, but like, I don't know.
Apologize to Chris Pratt because that's not. I would not go that far at all.
Yeah,
he did not give an outstanding performance.
Here's the thing, and I'm gonna sound repetitive, but I don't think you guys watch my videos. One of the things I said is that, like, in Mario 60... Oh, ew, I'm sorry.
Sometimes I get behind, but I always catch up, and I definitely saw your Mario ones.
Well, I'm making... The next episode is 64, one of the things I say, because I give a lot of credit to Charles Martinet for the performance of Mario in this game, but one of the things I also brought up is that it's not like he's the only person to voice Mario. We've had so many goddamn people voice Mario before and even after him. So it's not like... This is me talking now on my own. But it's not like him not being Mario is what upsets me. I think they should have just given it to him. But if they didn't, they could have chose a goddamn better actor. That's my issue.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that Charles deserves it because he has proven time and time again that, you know, he can do it. But if you're gonna do it, fucking don't. Just fucking come on. Everyone else was way better.
I guess one question I would have too is like, and it's something that I don't think we can like fully know unless they flat out admit they didn't do this. But it's like, did they even give Charles a chance?
I feel like that's the problem. Is I don't think so.
Because I guess I could understand, like, okay, I don't know if Charles Martinet is going to be able to do what we have in mind for this movie. It's what he does for Mario is very different from what we have in mind. But they should at least give him a chance with that mindset.
You know, can I give you an argument?
But here's the thing, though. Every other character is celebrity voice actor. So, of course, Mario and Luigi are gonna be celebrity voice actor. I think they just want someone who's, like, more popular than Charles Martinet.
Yeah. I mean, give the Sonic movie credit for one thing. They at least got one of the voice actors involved. Like, they got Tails' voice actor.
Yeah.
She's, like, the same... Yeah, fucking Frontiers and Boom, same voice actor as the movie.
And, I mean, that's one of those cases where I think they did pick, like, good actors for Sonic and Knuckles, even if they were, like, more famous than maybe like the actual voice actors for these characters.
Honestly, I think Idris Elba is a better Knuckles than most of the people they've had for the last years.
Yes.
I don't really like Knuckles' voice lately. Roger Craig Smith does a good job. Jason Schwartz? No, not Jason. Benjamin Schwartz.
Yeah, Ben Schwartz.
Jason, I'm missing Jason Griffith with mixing two of the voice actors' names together. Benjamin does a really good job especially with what the movie has in mind. Because I think he sounds a little bit younger than Roger Craig Smith, and I think movie Sonic is supposed to sound younger.
Anyways, my point is this. See, the thing about Sonic is that his voice actor changes so much that I don't expect a voice actor to come back. That's my problem.
The fucking Mario has always been Charles Martinet.
Well, it's not like
except for, like, the TV show.
Like, okay, Ben Schwartz has been in some stuff. People know who he is, but he's not Chris Pratt.
Oh yeah,
it was like a voice I think was picked because he was like a good choice for Sonic.
Yeah, I agree, because honest to God, his biggest part up to this point is probably Parks and Rec, which, yeah, that's a big show, but it's not like he was the main... He was not one of the main characters. He was a recurring character.
Chris Pratt was.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, like... And here's the thing, I'm not even saying that it's a Nintendo choice to be Chris Pratt. I feel like that was definitely Illumination. That was like, yeah, we need him. Let's go. Because that sounds like an Illumination move.
I feel like it was Illumination, but I feel like Nintendo was probably breathing down their neck during that.
Yeah, I feel like the problem is Nintendo, here's the deal. I would say that it was Nintendo's fault, but Nintendo also is one of the most ambivalent companies out there, so, like, and that's to a negative degree. So if you said, hey, let's spend money on Chris Pratt, they'd be like, fuck that, no.
I think another thing, too, I could... The only reason I ever suspected Nintendo with that is I feel like the Mario movie was the most who's popular in America right now movie ever.
Well, see, and that's why I can't say that it's a Nintendo choice, because Nintendo is not an American company. They don't give a shit.
I know, but it's just so it's
like,
almost stereotypical.
Yeah, because, I mean... Well, here's the issue, is that, like, if Nintendo gave a shit about, like, America, then we would have had, like, way more Metroid and F-Zero games.
If Nintendo cared more about America, we'd have Waluigi and Smash.
Yeah, exactly.
And not like Waluigi. 20 fucking Fire Emblem characters.
Fire Emblem, that's favorite.
Yeah.
I would like Waluigi to show up in the next one. I think they should just bite the bullet and do it. I think Waluigi will probably be in the next one.
I would love it, but
I'm not playing another Smash Bros. Game until Waluigi is playable.
I feel like the one problem is that...
What if they make you playable, Matt? What if they made you playable then?
They already made me playable.
Yeah, they did. To defend Fire Emblem, though, at least I can tell you what these characters are.
By that logic, they made Waluigi playable.
Well, I can't... okay, well, I don't really know much about Waluigi as a character in comparison.
But they're not even fun to play as. They're just boring sword fighters. Hey, look, here's the thing. Cloud, Shulk, Link, all sword fighters. All fun to play as. The Fire Emblem characters is just like, no, you swing a fucking sword around.
Alright, Matt, I'm gonna give you what you want, but with a curse, okay?
Okay.
So you have to, like, decide if you are okay with this. Waluigi is playable, but he's an
Fire Emblem.
But he's an Echo Fighter of Ness.
No, he's an Echo Fighter of Marth.
It wouldn't even make sense. Why would he be that, though?
Because he has a tennis racket.
Yeah. And Ness is a yo-yo, so you know.
Yeah.
Same thing, basically. Oh, I really need to go to bed. Gotta get up in a few hours.
I don't know that I'm gonna be playing this much longer.
I think the thing is, the only reason I'm defending Fire Emblem is I kind of see why they added so many characters. And, I don't... Like, Ike, Byleth, and, that's it. Ike, Byleth don't play as similar as much as, man, even Corrin doesn't play. The problem is we have 3 Echo Fighters from, like, that play way too damn similarly, right? Like, Chrom, Roy, Lucina, and Martha are just the same damn character.
Yes. Like, the only Fire Emblem character I like is the magic one.
Robin.
Remember in that, like, Waluigi song, the Waluigi, Waluigi's Echo Fighter was, like, Ryu, I think? When Waluigi says an Echo Fighter would be fine, but they said too bad Daisy Time. That's a good video. I like that video.
because like I have no problem with the other Fire Emblem characters because they are vastly different. Because like once again, you can argue that they have a sword, but one of the biggest things is like a lot of video game characters have swords. That's just kind of what it is.
But again, like, that's my point though. Like Cloud and Shulk and Link are all like, they all have stuff going on. They have more. They're more than just sword fighters. I think the Fire Emblem characters are just sword fighters. I get nothing else out of them. They just swing swords. Link has like bombs and the boomerang. Shulk has like the power-ups and he has like the extendo sword. Cloud has like the breaker thing.
Yeah.
Alright, next, Smash Bros. Can only contain characters who are in Stupid Mario Bros. So Waluigi would be eligible. They have to put the UPS command in there.
I can't wait to play as...
I think the other thing with Fire Emblem is...
Well...
Scroll.
Bro.
I think the other point with Fire Emblem is it's like the same thing that people argue with like Dragon Quest characters, like, oh, I don't know why they're there, and then same people like, oh my god, I'm so happy that Banjo is a character. It's like, I see your point, but like, Banjo is only like popular in one region.
I was a fucking hypocrite with Dragon Quest because I bitched about it like in our when me and Zach did the Nintendo Direct on it from Echo and Zach, and then after I played Dragon Quest, I was like really fucking happy he's in there.
Yeah.
Because I really love the like you have that art style in that game now, which is neat because it's like not only does it bring like something different to the table character-wise, but it brings something different to the table aesthetic-wise. Like, yeah, Goku isn't in Smash Bros, but
the person that designed him is.
But yeah, the art style is in there. That's neat.
Like
Dragon Quest 11 is just one of the best games ever made. So
yeah, and I completely understand. Like, I mean, here's the thing: is that as a person that has played Fire Emblem and Dragon Quest, I see why they, argumentatively, they kind of deserve to, because of like what culturally they bring to the table.
I just like wandered into a boss fight. I wasn't prepared for this.
Yeah, I think you hit him now. Oh, okay. When they're dizzy.
Like a spring breeze.
Anyway, I am gonna go to bed now, but I'll talk to you guys later. Nice to talk.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay until the fight's done, and then I'm probably gonna dip.
I'll probably end the stream at the end of this fight.
Looks like the robots left it so
I feel like that's a weird thing. They could have given you a heads up that there's a boss fight.
Yeah, usually you expect this at like the end of a level, not...
Now the robot's taking a beating out there.
Cause like, that just looked like another segment.
Looks like the robots left itself vulnerable. The robot better change tactics and fast. I wanna play!
Epic, we're not playing. We're fighting for our lives.
I wanna play! Ooh, close encounters of the painful kind.
That was cute.
Hey, my back feels The robot's losing its head. What a shocking takedown by Patrick.
But then it just like magnetically goes back. Okay. It makes complete sense, man.
Yeah,
The old clothesline move. Looks like Patrick has a big opportunity here.
Is it gonna do it itself? No, okay.
Oh, nice flying head thing move by Patrick.
I can live without the narrating fish as much.
He's getting a little repetitive. Like once maybe, but like he keeps saying the same shit, and I'm like, yeah, man, I get it. I understand what's going on. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I understand. I've done it twice now. You don't have to tell me again.
Such an electrifying match.
Oh,
I love SpongeBob, but I feel kind of alien watching this.
Spring! The old clothesline move.
Okay.
That was kinda not fair. At least it starts me from there. That's nice. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Spring! The old clothesline move.
I feel like a new sponge.
There's the robot's vulnerability. Let's see if SpongeBob goes for it. Oh, what an uppercut!
Can I be honest with you?
Sure.
I don't
Like a
see the
spring
point of
breeze.
these boss fights.
I mean, I
not-
don't think it's like an awful boss
Oh,
fight.
it's not bad. It's not bad. I
Nice
just
move by SpongeBob. This match is just about over.
I feel like if it, and like I said, I'm not trying to shit on this, so please forgive me if it sounds like it.
I feel like a new sponge.
I think there are so many SpongeBob villains or antagonists, or antagonist-like, that you don't need Mecha Sandy.
Oh, that's gotta
Does
stop.
that
I-
make sense?
It keeps glitching out when I'm like trying to pound on them.
I think you just need to ground pound near them.
Do it.
That's a bubble bash opportunity if ever I've seen one.
Boss defeated.
That was quite a battle. Tell him
And the ripped SpongeBob in the background.
what's a new power, the bubble bowl. But wait, there's more. A golden spatula, and that's not all. A gift certificate for $5.32 to Dean's Little Shop of Dried Fish Flakes and Flowers.
Oh, thank you. It all means so much. I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Cry all you want, but not here. We just wax the floors.
Alright.
They could have cut away from him a long time ago.
I haven't been keeping an eye on chat at
Hey,
all. Looks like
Plankton.
no one's here. Oh. Alright.
Ignored the
Hey,
chat the whole
Plankton,
time.
yes, what is
Just
it?
wondering why all the robots seem to be coming from inside the.
Have they? I really haven't noticed.
Yeah. And then there's that big flashing neon
Can
sign
you-
that says.
can you play
Robot
each Doom?
Headquarters.
SpongeBob, I'm your friend, right?
Will YouTube allow that?
No, not really.
Exactly, and as your non-friend, I worry about you. Like right now, you're thinking too much.
I need to check that
I'll
out.
tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
think
I don't. That is a weird comment. You got one comment on the stream, and it's a weird comment.
Well, hold on. Let's visit
It shines.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Oh, we're gonna do that level.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Yeah, we don't do that stuff anymore, kid. We're retired.
Yeah, this is the whole level.
TV repairman?
See,
No,
it's Barnacle Boy, but it's not Mermaid Man.
No, it is not.
Hey,
Okay, Matt, can I ask you a very serious question?
Sure.
Because you know more about YouTube's guidelines. Can we actually play H Doom?
As long as there's not nudity.
I don't think we can do it.
Nudity will get you in like some trouble.
Like, I think the person's joking, but I feel like there's also a point of where it's like... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Boy, had to go
Time to
fast
beat
on
up
this
the
one.
elderly.
Let's freaking go. Beat up the geriatric superheroes.
This is a Bikini Bottom news update. We're getting unconfirmed reports that the robot menace is emanating from the chum bucket. Hear me now. I'll crush. And now back to.
I think this is where I'm gonna have to call it quits.
Yeah, alright.
I don't think you want to do this last night.
Alrighty. Well, thank you
You know what,
everyone for
shit?
joining.
What shit is that you've almost
Chris, you are cutting out. I cannot hear you. I'm ending the
caught
stream.
up to me.
Oh, I've almost
Alright.
caught up to
Yeah.
where you are. Alright. Alright, well...